Hi everyone, welcome to Mommy Hustle. If you're new here, welcome and please subscribe to the channel. And if you've been here, welcome back. So today's video is related to postpartum health. We hear so much about pregnancy and delivery. There's so much of information. Everybody around you, your friends, family will share a lot about their pregnancy experience, their delivery, but there's not so much of awareness around postpartum recovery. Yes, postpartum was something that I wasn't aware of for a very long time. All I knew about postpartum was that yes, I will have to rest for a few days, there would be a bit of discomfort, bleeding, that's all I knew. But postpartum is much more than that, and I think there's very less awareness around postpartum. And hence, I will be making few videos around postpartum on this channel. And I think postpartum recovery has to be taken very seriously so that every new mother recovers physically and mentally and goes back to the normal self. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So today's topic is related to something called Diastasis Recti. Have you ever heard people telling you that you still look like 5 months or 6 months pregnant even after your delivery? There's this baby bump that just doesn't go away no matter what you've done to reduce that extra bump. So in those cases, you have to consider the possibility of having a condition called Diastasis Recti. It's not something very scary, it's very normal and it happens to most mothers. So what Diastasis Recti means is simply an abdominal gap. It is caused by a gap between your rectus abdominis muscles, which are part of your core. So what happens in this case is when you're pregnant, your body is going through a lot of changes. One of the biggest one is your organs are moving around to make space for the growing baby. So in that case, the fibers holding these muscles together soften and make space, due to which this gap comes up, and chances are a lot of times after delivery it might heal naturally. But yes, in some cases it might not heal back naturally as well. And this gap can then further accentuate and cause issues with your core, your pelvic floor, your lower back pains. So all of that can result out of having this condition. So it's very important that you check if you have this condition. So before getting into how do you find if you have Diastasis Recti, I'll just share my experience and how I found about Diastasis Recti. So after my delivery, I used to browse a lot about postpartum health. I was having a lot of postpartum issues myself as well. So I was just reading a lot about it. And that's when I found something about Diastasis Recti and found about it. So when I went to see my gynecologist after 6 weeks period, I asked her from my end to just check if I have that condition. So the fact is that the gynecologists themselves do not check, and I think this should be part of that routine check where they normally would check if your stitches are fine, if you're recovering well. I think every new mother should be checked if they have any kind of abdominal gap. So yeah, I asked my gynecologist and then she checked me if I had that gap, and she confirmed yes, I have. I did not have too much of a gap. It could have healed on its own as well, but I really wanted to take professional help so that I'm sure before I get back to my normal life, my normal workouts, I wanted to be sure that I have fully recovered from Diastasis Recti. The issue with Diastasis Recti would be that if you do not treat this condition and go back to your regular workouts like crunches, any kind of ab workouts, or even at home lifting any kind of heavy weights, lifting your baby, all of that can increase this gap. Also, in some cases, multiple pregnancies can also cause severe cases of Diastasis Recti. So it is very important that you get yourself checked, and I'll now be showing you how can you check this on your own. But I would still recommend that if you find that you have a gap, go to a gynecologist or a physical therapist to confirm if you have the condition. If yes, what's the degree and what would be your recovery plan. So let's get into how we will detect if there is any kind of abdominal gap.
Start by lying flat on the floor and then bend your knees. Once you bend your knees, gently lift your head and then go in with your fingers and feel for a gap right above your navel. If you feel that, then move down to your navel and then below your navel. By this point, you would have detected that you do feel for a gap. And the next would be to feel how much of a gap you have. So go in with your fingers pointing downwards for 1 finger, 2 finger, and if 2 is what the gap is, that's fine, or you can then increase, you might have 3 finger gap. Just feel for that right above your navel, at the navel, and below your navel. In this case, I'm just showing if 2 fingers are going in, you have a 2 finger gap. Then just lie back down.
So that was the quick check to see if you have this abdominal gap. It's fairly easy to check, but if you really want to confirm, I would suggest that you still go to a gynecologist or a physical therapist around you. Once you found out that you have this condition, what's next? So in terms of treating diastasis recti, there are a few exercises or physical therapy that you have to undergo to bridge that gap. And these exercises are really beneficial. So even after you cure that gap, I would recommend that you continue with those exercises because it helps with your core, it helps with your pelvic floor health. All over, these are very beneficial exercises. So I'm going to be sharing these exercises with you in my next video. So if you're looking forward to that, I would suggest subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you're notified as soon as the next video is up. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.